Hey, hey, hey. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Hello, basement crew. So I don't see anybody new on tonight, so I think everybody knows the drill. Everybody starts out muted. That's normal. We're all good there. So I think I will go right over to Becky. Gonna spotlight Becky and see what the ladies, now Kristen is sick tonight, so she's on, but her camera's off. So we're leaving it to Becky tonight. So Becky, what do you got for us tonight?
I wish I had a whole lot for you tonight. I don't have a whole lot, but I just want to thank the monthly partners again. You guys are what keeps Battlefield going. And, you know, this is what, 7 years now, Angie?
Yep.
They've been having Solution Group. Yeah, this is what keeps Angie and Kristen with us and Art doing Solution Groups. And so thank you so much again, because you guys, we keep getting more monthly partnerships and we really, really appreciate that. And then the other thing is we keep forgetting to talk about Mom's Coffee Group. Like the last couple of weeks, we do a mom, if you're new or if you haven't heard, we do a Mom's Coffee Group on Zoom every Wednesday at 11. And I think they're going to put that up. Anyway, so it's great. We just get together, we talk about Solution Group from the night before and have a discussion, or we talk about whatever's going on in people's lives or with their addicts or just whatever. So would love for you to join us. And you can get the link from Angie or Kristen. And then Angie, how do they find you?
You can text me or you can Facebook me.
Okay.
Yeah, Facebook Messenger, text me. If you don't, I'll put my number in the chat just to be safe. I'll do that right now. Okay. So you all have that just in case there's anybody out there. 253-334-2233. There's my number. You can text me for the link. Once you have the link, you'll always have it. It's the same every week, just like Solution Group is, just 2 different links for the 2 different events. But once you have it, you're good to go. And you can pop in here or there, Mom's Group. You don't have to be there every week. I know many of you work during the week and can't be there, but if you ever have the afternoon off or a lunch break, pop in when you can. We have a lot of great conversation and I'm looking forward to it tomorrow.
And I'll just end that by just saying thanks again to everyone for making Battlefield possible.
Yes, yes, thank you. And I second that. Thank you all to all you monthly partners who really make it possible. So thank you, thank you. All right, thank you, Becky. And let's go over to the basement crew. And where's our Kyle? We need a little comedy to start the night off. So Kyle's corny comedy. Take it away, Kyle.
Okay, first of all, we at the house would love to thank the Mom's Coffee Group for the dinner we had tonight. Via Pam Stampalia. It was really good. Lasagna. Yes. Wonderful. I really appreciate it. Makes my job a lot easier, that's for sure. And Courtney's, because she cooks sometimes. So, on to the jokes. The wind blew 25% of my roof away. Oof. Emily Swanson's here tonight. We haven't had her for a while. You just had a baby. Yes. I knew you had it in you.
Okay, that was good.
You guys ever notice how religious Mike Tyson is? You know, at least it sounds like it. He's always punching people in the face. I have an identical twin brother, and when we were younger, we used to go to this thing called the Twins Club. There we met another set of twins named Amal and Juan. Their parents named them that because if you've seen Juan, you've seen them all. I accidentally swallowed some food coloring. I died a little inside. Do you know how to catch a unique animal? Unique up on it.
Yeah. That's cute.
You know, people always like to say no to drugs. I'm telling you right now, if I'm talking to drugs, I've definitely already said yes. If you think about it, a do not touch sign, do not touch. The sign must be terrifying to read in Braille. You know, in recovery, sometimes you find yourself addicted to other things, small little things. I find myself addicted to brake fluid, but I can stop at any time. Okay, this one. Vocabulary and punctuation is really weird, the whole English language. A colon can change the meaning of a whole sentence, just a colon. For instance, I ate my friend's lunch versus I ate my friend's colon. 69% of people find something dirty in every sentence.
Yeah.
Okay. That's it.
Thank you, Kyle.
All right. Thank you, Kyle. And let me say one more thing before you start, Art, about Mom's Group. Again, thank you to Pam Stampalia for the awesome dinner for them tonight. Last month, Kristen brought some dinner. That was an idea from the Moms Group, and that was just a really fun idea that the moms did, that they decided once a month they would rotate and bring over dinner to the house, which is really cool. So thanks for that. And then I just have to mention, I listened last week. I didn't attend Moms Group last week, but Becky took over, and I got to listen in. And I have to tell Art that the conversation was so fantastic. That is so bright on my screen. The conversation was so fantastic last week after last week's topic. So I'm really looking forward to tonight and what you're bringing tonight, Art, because last week's topic was so good. And if you attended, you know that it went way over and we had to stop so we could continue tonight. If you weren't there last week, we have the recordings every week. The way that you can find our recordings is just on our YouTube channel. So if you go to YouTube and you search Battlefield Addiction, it will come up our channel. You can subscribe to our channel too. But if you go to the playlist that's titled Solution Group Zoom, that will bring up all the solution groups ever since we started on Zoom since COVID. And we even have a library way back from 2016, in fact, of all of our solution groups. So we have a ton. But in that playlist is just in the past year and a half or so. But if you ever have difficulty finding any of our recordings, feel free to just reach out to me directly. I'm happy to send them to you. But I know I listened again last night to last week's group because I wanted it to be fresh. And I so thoroughly enjoyed listening to Mom's Group last week as Becky led and Sherry was on there and many of you ladies, and how just hearing how you were processing the topic. It was really, really beautiful. And so anyways, I just wanted to acknowledge that Mom's Groups have been fantastic, a fantastic way to articulate, and process together the day after. And so it was really great. Everybody loved your topic, Art, and I'm looking forward to more tonight. So with that, I will hand it over to you.
I think it's kind of an extension. We're going to make it a third part. Not only did last week went on here late, we kept going after, and we kept talking about it. And it was almost as if everybody's brain came in kind of down, and then it lit up, and it lit up with this idea. And, I want to say where this started because, I'm in a relationship, and with Ange, we're in a relationship, and it's a pretty good one. And everyone that knows us knows our relationship's pretty good. And there's a lot of work that goes into it, but not like you think. Like, we don't have to work at liking each other. We don't have to work at like getting along. We don't have to work at anything that. We have to work at being the truth. And then that's very elusive, what we call the truth. And so the first thing that I want to get the discussion going early tonight, because I want you guys to kind of, maybe I don't articulate it right always, and I get excited at different times, and I want to make sure that people are understanding what I'm saying. And for me, this is just how what I'm just telling you is my experience in a relationship. And, you know, as I want you to know that when you're in a relationship with anyone, there is 4 of you. And I think it has to be clear that there's 4 things there. There's you and your thoughts and me and my thoughts. And there's 4. And it has to be understood that in a relationship of 2 people, that there's 4 things going on. That if you're in your head with your thoughts, then you're in a relationship with your thoughts. And if you don't want to tell me those thoughts for whatever various reason that could be, then you, in my opinion, are keeping something from me. You are keeping a secret. You are keeping something that is not visible to me. It allows me not to know you. I don't know we don't understand each other. So there's that. There's that when we're in a relationship, and I think that the English language does us a disservice because it says the phrase, I think. And when people then believe that they are the thing that is thinking, when they believe that they offer thought, well, they have to go about the business of hiding those thoughts, not saying those thoughts, actually kind of devalue, or not devaluing, but actually trying to block them down. Like it wasn't, I didn't have that one. Like the reason I know that we're not thinking as human beings, that thinking is happening to us, the reason I know that is because we can't make it stop. Another reason I know that is that we have thoughts that we wish we wouldn't have had. We have thoughts that sometimes we go, geez, that's bad. And we don't have to claim those, but we do have those. And so it is as if there's 2 of us in here. There's me and there's my thoughts. And there's 2 of me in here. Maybe not 2 of me, but there is 2 things in here. There's me and my roommate, or me and what's going on in here. And I think to be the truth as a human being, to get known as a human being, then you have to know my thoughts. Now, if you think that there's another way for people to know you without them knowing your thoughts, please tonight tell me what that way is. Because if you are portraying yourself one way, but your thoughts are something else, nobody knows you. And you can kind of argue that with me if you'd like, but I just think that's true. So I think for people to know me, they must know my thoughts. Now, the other question comes up that people have is, what is this idea that people think their thoughts aren't true? I want to kind of debunk that. If we lived in a world where we didn't believe in our thoughts, we would have enormous difficulty navigating the world. We couldn't get to the store. We would have to question whether we knew how to go there. We couldn't stay away from people that we want to stay away from. We couldn't go with people. We are as people, we have what's called confirmation bias. We have a thought and we believe deeply in it. So if you think tonight, if you felt last week that I was accusatory, you felt it was something or whatever, okay, well, I want all of you to know that I have a thought that I think you all love clowns. Now, as I say that, you all laugh or you just go, what the hell? But you see, nobody's angry. But if I start saying that maybe if we start feeling accused, maybe we should. Maybe we're doing something to feel that way. But nobody's feeling accused about thinking about loving clowns. Nobody's feeling accused. I had an incident where I had a kid that was living in my program and he was selling crack cocaine. He denied that he was selling crack cocaine. So he went to his probation officer and he said, Art's kicking me out because I sell crack cocaine, because he says that I sell crack cocaine. So again, the probation officer calls me and tries to defend this kid and says, this kid's in my office very angry because you said he sells crack cocaine. And I said, I know he does. He sells crack cocaine. And I know why. And then the guy says to me, and I said to him, to the probation officer, well, I think you sell crack cocaine. And then he started laughing. And right there, I said, I got you. And I said, notice when I accused you of selling crack cocaine, you laughed. Notice that you didn't get angry. Notice that he did. You know why he's angry and you're not? Because he sells crack cocaine. That's why. So when we feel that way, now I want you to, and that probation officer put the phone down and he goes, okay, Art, he doesn't have to live at your house. And I said, I know. Thank you. So the deal here is, then people say, well, what if my thought is rude? Okay, so you have this rude thought. Do you think it's true? What if you have a thought that somebody's breath smells? You don't want to blurt it out. Okay, so what do you want to do? What do you want to do? You want to keep it to yourself and then tell somebody else that his breath stinks? What do you want to do? So at that point, now we're at, you want to be in a relationship with that person, but what are you going to do with that thought? So you're in a predicament. What do I do with that thought? Or you see somebody and you think they look overweight. Let's say it's your significant other. Let's say you're with your significant other and she comes out and she's looking overweight, put on like 10 pounds from last week. And that's the thought that you have. Now, what do you do with that? Now, your wife looks at you and she knows you're thinking something. So then she says, do you think that I look heavy? And you say, no. I contend at that level right now that your relationship with that person is over. Done. They will never trust you again. Because what if they really were they're looking for confirmation that they don't look heavy, but you couldn't give it to them because you had that thought and they know you had that thought. But instead they lie. Instead they said, I don't have that thought. No, you look great. Now, can you trust them to be a judge of you for the rest of the time? Can you trust what they say? You know they're going to lie to you. Is that a relationship? That you put people in positions that they have to lie to you to make you feel okay, and you know inside that they're lying? So this is now the work. The work is not, and let's understand something. We say our thoughts not because they're true. We think they're true. We say them because if I don't say them, they can't be disproved. Give an example. Hey, I have this thought in my head that you don't care about people. Let's say somebody has a thought with me and they go, Art, I got this thought in my head that you don't care about people, that you're all about money, that it's only the money for you. And they have that thought. Now, let's say they don't tell me that thought. Let's say they just keep it. How is the relationship between me and them going to work? It is 100% over. So it is mandatory. If that thought comes in their head that they think that I'm all about money and that they don't care, it is mandatory for them to approach me with a new definition of humility. So let's consider that humility is the idea that possibly maybe there's a 1% chance that my thoughts aren't true. And I'm going to say them to you in hopes that you disprove it. I actually want you to prove to me and actually stop this thought in my head. So if we think somebody's all about money and they don't care, the only way that thought ever gets disproved is if we see them caring, if we hear their perspective, if we see the other side of it, if we actually give them the opportunity to show us that. But see, confirmation bias, or what's also called already always listening, says, when I have a thought that says you don't care about people and you're all about money, I now look for evidence that that's true. And I seek out why you're all about money and why that you don't care about people. And the only way to be in a relate now, again, you had that thought. That's the truth. You had that thought. I didn't say it was true. The thought was true. I said the truth is you had that thought. And the truth, and then if you have that thought, the problem is you believe it. You have to. What's your alternative to believing your own thoughts? Do you think you sit there in your head when you have a thought that somebody's not caring, somebody's an asshole, somebody's mean, somebody's whatever the thought is? Are you telling me that you run around all day disproving that to yourself?
Calling yourself a liar.
Yeah, calling yourself a liar. Is that what you do? You have a thought that a lady in the store is rude. It's over. You think she's rude. There's no other. You have a thought that somebody is disrespectful. The only way to get that thought out that they're not disrespectful is to give them an opportunity and to say, hey, what I saw you just do there, in my head, it's looking like disrespect.
Is it disrespect? What is going on with you right now? That's the only way. So this idea that people don't want to share everything. I'm sorry, if you can tell me another way on here tonight to fully know another human being without exchanging each other's full thought load, the whole thing, without you giving the whole thing. If you have another way, you can keep 10% of your thoughts or 12% of your thoughts for yourself and call that not cheating on the other human. You have a thought that your husband is whatever, and you keep that, whatever that thought is, and then you keep that from him. See, the trick is the reason you keep it, the reason you won't tell anybody is because you believe it to be so true. You absolutely believe it to be so true that you think it will hurt. So you don't say it because you think you're the truth. And you think your thoughts are so accurate that you don't want to say anything. But what if you had the thought, your husband is whatever, and then you gave him the opportunity to prove otherwise? You gave somebody the opportunity to say, hey, is that what it is?
It would be wrong.
Yeah. And you have to be wrong. Your thought has to be wrong. So again, tell me, and I'm begging you, for anyone in here that has some thought in their head that can claim to me tonight that the world doesn't need to know it. Tell me why. Tell me why. Give me a valid reason why somebody doesn't need to know your thoughts. Now, I didn't say that you have a thought and you just tell them it's right and they're wrong. I didn't say that. I said there's a thought. It's in your head. You either like it, you don't like it. And you tell me why someone doesn't need to know. Now, what I get accusatory of and what I get very frustrated with is people call not expressing their thoughts being good. That's what frustrates me. The trick, the work is expressing your thoughts and being good at the same time. Giving it to people in a way that they know that you love them. Giving it to people in a way that they know you care about them. Giving it to people in a way that it's not accusatory or protective. Just saying, hey, these are my thoughts and they're probably wrong and I would love for you to disprove them because I want to be in a relationship with you. A couple goes out to dinner with another couple. Is there any questions asked? Or are the assumptions made, the thoughts put in, and the husband and wife, both the couples get in separate cars and go home and talk shit? And say, I think this, and I think this, and I think he's about that, and I think he's all about that, and I bet that one's cheating on her. I bet they're not even faithful to each other. And they got all these thoughts. And they want to go out to dinner next week again. They want to make that deeper. It ain't shit. Now, how can you go out and actually put these thoughts that you have out on the table with people and say, this is what's in my head. Please disprove it because I want to be in a relationship with you. Please. So I contend, and maybe you can argue, I contend that that 100% of thoughts would need to be shared to have that be 100% truthful relationship. And I contend that at 1% of thoughts hidden, that two people are lying to each other. Now that's harsh. If you believe otherwise, then it's fine. That you think you should hold your thoughts from the other person in some way. Now, Angie comes out. Let's say I'm not being normal to Angie. I'm being different. She knows something's off. Let's say she's also put on 10 pounds. Now, let's say she comes to me and she goes, she wants to know because in her head, she's figured out that those 10 pounds that she's put on are the reason I'm being different. And that's her thoughts. Now, she doesn't share them with me. She's scared to. She doesn't want to say it. So let's say she comes to me and she goes, hey, now let's say she comes to me and she wants it disproved. So she comes and she says, are you not touching me because I've gained 10 pounds? And let's say that because I've been truthful and everything, she can see by my reaction, I go, what? You're nuts. Of course that's not it. It was because you said something to me that was mean the other day and I haven't gotten over it. And then she goes, oh, and then there's relief. Now, let's say it is because she's put on 10 pounds. Let's say it is because of that. Let's say in my mind, I'm not getting over it. And she says, are you not touching me because I've gained 10 pounds? Now, what if I lie right there? It's over. It's over. I lie and I look at her and I go, no, it's because of, and I make something up. Now she can never trust my opinion of her again. She can never trust that I'm going to tell her my true thoughts. She can't trust me. Now I'm sorry that it's this way. I didn't know it. You tell me it's not this way. You tell me if somebody can look at you, you know they're lying. You're lying. They know it. You know it. And you just move on. And you say, that's okay. And that's because what? Because good people do that. Nice people do that. No, the trick is, how do I tell her it is and look at her with enough love that she can see it? I go, yeah, I'm struggling with your weight, baby. We got to figure it out. We got to figure this out together. I'll walk with you. I'll do whatever. But yeah, I think you're unhealthy. I think you don't look good. It's not attractive to me. Sorry. Now, what if I say that? Now the possibility of the relationship continuing and getting better exists. Now, this is a level of a partner in an intimate relationship. So there's levels to this thing. Am I suggesting that you go to the store clerk at Safeway and express all your thoughts?
Oh, we lost you. Or is it just me? We lost you guys. Oh, that made me laugh. Yeah, we totally lost you guys.
I think you fell asleep.
Yeah, the camera went off. Where you guys at? That made me laugh. Oh, can't see you guys. Everybody says he fell asleep for sure. We don't have you guys. Video's off. Can't hear you, nothing. Oh, they got log in and log out. Imagine going to the grocery store clerk, telling them all your thoughts. They'll be back in a momentarily. We'll just wait because I don't have any thoughts to share. I'm going to keep those to myself. That's what Angie does. She hides them. She just hides them, pretends they're not there. Pam says frozen. I don't know if I'm frozen or they're obviously having technical difficulties there in Kent. So I'll just sit here and not share my thoughts. Oh my God. They'll be back soon. Okay, back in. Yeah, they're trying to get back on now. Hey, you know what? Let me take this opportunity, guys. So one of the things I wanted to announce tonight is something that we're going to get on the schedule here in the new year is we're going to resume group coaching, and we're also going to plan a workshop. So for those of you who have not, yay, I see all these cheers. Yes, it's been a long time. We haven't done any of that since COVID, but we are going to resume. What we're probably going to do is do group coaching, probably at the Kent House, and then perhaps do some workshops at the office space up in Federal Way, hopefully. So stay tuned to that. And I'm going to ask, oh, here comes Rebuild. Here they come.
You guys hear us?
Okay, yep.
Okay, I'm not sure what happened. The thing just restarted itself.
Okay. Hi, guys. So where you got cut off, Art, was when you said, am I suggesting that you go to the grocery store clerk and blurt out everything you think, and then you totally cut out?
Yeah, no, but I am suggesting that your relationship will be, the connection of your relationship will be measured by the ability to share your thoughts. And the work becomes, how do we do it? How do we do it in the proper manner? And how do we get all our thoughts about each other out on the table so that we don't take those thoughts to other people and we don't keep those thoughts to ourselves? And again, I would like to challenge anyone out there and say, tell me a good scenario where with your husband or your loved one, that it is a good reason, there is a good reason to keep your thoughts from them. And you tell me what that reason is. And if you can, then I might be open, because I might be wrong. I mean, there's a possibility that there is a scenario that exists. I haven't seen it yet. So, and it's harsh because, you gotta do the work. And that's what I said at the beginning of this thing. I said, the work of the relationship is figuring out the most proper and best way to share these thoughts and getting them out in not a hurtful manner, not a rude manner, but a manner that you're communicating with another person and getting those out to be either disproved or to be something. So there. And I would like to take questions and just kind of, open up the discussion.
One thing I know is, like, I've heard people a lot of times say, like, I don't want to hurt this person by telling them the truth. But
Yeah.
I think in reality, by, like you said, when you're able to tell the person your thoughts, it truly does give somebody that opportunity to prove you wrong, right?
Yes.
But the thing about it is people don't want to ask that because they don't want to be proved wrong.
They don't want to feel that. They want and that's the other thing that we're dealing with here is what we're up against in relationships is that we want our thoughts to be right, because the reality is we don't, as human beings right now, we're not really that interested in deeper relationships. We're actually interested in getting out of them as quick as possible so we don't get hurt. That's the reality. And so it's not natural to, when I have an assumption about something that Angie's doing or whatever, sometimes I get the sense that I want my thoughts to be right so I can protect myself, so I can cover up and just quit.
Mm-hmm.
And to give everything, I don't know what else it would mean to give everything to the relationship other than every thought. What would it mean to give everything? If giving everything to the relationship is something other than giving all your thoughts, then one person is going to get resentful, because that means that giving everything to the relationship is, I do all the cooking, I make all the money, I give everything. What do you do? And if you really see that the giving is the giving of thought, not the giving of the workload, not the giving of, that's something, but that will lead to one person competing with the other person about who gives more. I make more money, I raise the kids, I stay home all day, you work, you get to come home and the kids are all fed, you didn't clean the house. That's what a relationship turns into. And it's a business of judgment.
So what you're talking about is a level playing field.
Yeah, this gives us the thing about what giving everything means.
Yeah.
Giving everything means I give you everything that's in here. And I think this is new because we're not told this. We're told to be nice. We're not told that there's an alternative to sharing mean thoughts that's nice. We're not told that. So now we're busy knocking down our thoughts as if we're a mean person for having those thoughts, and we don't want to be a mean person. So we try to just not say them, and we put on the persona of a nice person. Somebody said to me the other day, they said, they told me that the dogs stink in the house. Now I've lost my sense of smell because of COVID. And then the person was like, well, what am I supposed to say, Art? Your dogs stink? Have them take a bath? And this is exactly what I'm talking about. No, that's not how you say it. You say, hey, Art, can you not smell your dogs? They stink. And I'll go, no, I got COVID. I can't smell. And they'll go, oh, that makes sense. Let's wash the dogs. But see, somebody keeps it and they go, his dogs stink. And then they leave the program and they come and they go, you don't want to go there. The dogs stink. Art's not very smart. He doesn't take care of his dogs. And they build up a big bullshit against it. I don't know. I need to be told when my dogs stink. I need to be told when my breath stinks. I need to be told when I suck. I need to be told when I smell. I want to be told when my feet stink. I don't want people talking behind my back. I want somebody to go, hey, man, you want me to help you out? It's all tough stuff. Now, I sit in rooms with people all the time where I say what other people are thinking. And then I try to encourage people that have to step up to the plate and say it too. But we're so accustomed to being nice people, people start looking away. I don't want to say it. I don't want to say what Art's saying, don't they? I mean, it happens. And then some do. Some got the balls to step up and go, no. What Art's saying is right, man. You need to hear it. But a lot of times people look away. I don't want to be on his bad side. He's going to come after me after group. That's what happens. So if I'm saying tonight, why don't you say it? So people bring me their husband. Tell him, Art. Tell him. What do you want me to tell? Tell him he's an asshole. Okay. I'm real good at telling people they're an asshole. Bring him to me. But you think he's an asshole and you ain't told him. Why? See, there's the question right there. You think your partner is an asshole sometimes. Why haven't you told him? Give me that answer. Okay.
We've got Carrie. We got Carrie with a question. Look at that Doug and Carrie bundle. Hi, Carrie.
Hi, been gone for a couple weeks, so I'm back.
Yay.
Hey, so Art, the topic tonight for me is basically one of the lessons in Life Skills 101, and is what I want young people just starting on a career path, working in groups, etc., working recovery, this is just part of life. And whether you are in a relationship with a partner, boyfriend, girlfriend, family, friend, or work, these are conversations that you have to know how to manage in everything you do. And you have to wade in carefully. So this is kind of, Carrie's coaching moment, because you're going to run into most people that have no idea what you're trying to do, why you're trying to do it, and they're not going to be prepared to have an honest conversation. And working in groups and leading groups, I bet you I spent 70% of my time coaching people in how to talk to each other and how to participate in a group and how to not get their panties in a wad because they thought they were doing all the work and somebody wasn't. So you're spot on so much you're saying, but it's not just across the dinner table. It's in everything you do.
Right. And the key here is that once you begin this process of sharing your thoughts, it demands you to become a better human being. It demands you to get your ducks in a row. Now, a lot of the reason people doesn't want to share their thoughts is they're worried about the rebuttal. They're worried about all the holes in their own game. And if they share their thoughts, they're going to then have to, because the natural defense when somebody's in this process of saying, unless you do it really well, but the natural defense is to say, yeah, but what about you? You do this and you do that. And why do you do this? So it demands, the reason that I have the luxury sometimes that a lot of people that don't that have that luxury is that I've worked very hard at cleaning up the holes in my game.
Not having to what about you?
Yes, to take those away. And it demanded me to look at myself and look and see where the holes were. And it requires me to sit here every week to look at the holes because I'm waiting for somebody to tell me I'm full of shit, because I might be. This isn't, and that's why this is so, for you guys, this is so mandatory, because you can't live in there with your thoughts. You can't live this way. You can't live this quiet life of mediocrity and boredom and like not giving it your all. So let's define giving it your all as letting people know you through your thoughts, letting people know your thoughts. Our biggest fear is that people know us.
Well, how about through your thoughts and actions? Because you said it, you're able to do this because you've done the work. And a lot of strong people at work or in other relations are able to speak out and talk people through stuff because they've done the work by getting themselves to where they are. So they're not afraid to have the conversation.
Yeah,
be called out, because there's nothing people can call them out on. Now, like you said, you don't have to be an asshole about it. You've gotta understand who's on the other side of the conversation and move them to where you are. But you're going to have a lot stronger conversation, like you said, if you've done the work.
That's right. That's right. Kyle?
So I'm thinking, so I got someone in my life where I say, hey, this is
thanks, Carrie.
I say, hey, I think that your breath stinks or something like that.
Yeah.
Then they get mad and they get upset because now they have to face the fact that their breath stinks.
Yeah.
And then they're going to have to do the work in order to stop their breath from stinking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I guess the question is in how where do we go from there? We got to somehow invite this person to listen to my thoughts about them.
Right.
And they don't want to hear my thoughts about them because it makes them upset. Even though it's true, it still makes them upset.
And the thing here right there is right there in that, and that's kind of an odd thing to do. Have to tell that one scenario.
Yeah.
But there requires some work right there. As soon as you're not a person, as soon as you're the person in the room that's kind of voted in, or the kind of person that people trust to go tell the other person that, what are the people in the room kind of saying about you? Hey, you go tell him. You go tell him. They're kind of right there saying something pretty good to you. They're saying that we kind of think you can do it.
Yeah.
We kind of think you're a human being that cares enough about people that you could approach him in a way that he's not going to be angry and hatred. And then somebody else in the room is going to go, I can't tell him. And now I will argue that the person that says I can't tell him is not living their life the right way. And they're voting the person that's living their life the right way kind of in charge. And so that's why, for us here, it becomes being the person that can say these things to people. And it becomes being the person that can share your thoughts. Listen, we're all here to connect with other people. Here's the thesis. Here's the hypothesis. 1, you want to connect with other people. Addiction is they say, I don't know if it's true or not. Addiction is the opposite of connection. Maybe that's true. Maybe it's not. But let's say it is for our purposes tonight. And then let's say that's true. And let's say now we want connection. We don't want addiction. So now you want connection. My argument here is simple. You cannot connect until all your thoughts are shared. And if 50% of your thoughts are shared with that other human being, you have a 50% connection. If 60% are shared, you have a 60% connection. So it's up to you what kind of relationship you want. That's it. I mean, and the deeper that you can be, and then now I want to get to 70% of my thoughts shared. Also, I don't want the person to leave. I want to be in the relationship with them. Then I want to get to 80. Then I want to get to 90, or I start out 100 and keep it 100.
Yeah.
is the best way. I'm going to go ahead and start at 100, but you're not going to have to go to 100 because there's going to be different things that come up. And then you can share your thoughts on that particular topic. Yeah.
So I'm listening to this and I keep thinking back when you said like you run a program and like we've all been programmed like fucked up from like childhood, right?
Yeah.
So our programming's off. So I'm looking at this as like if we can learn to share our thoughts 100% with people, right? That's like working on that reprogramming
That's
of
right.
ourselves, right? And I'm seeing it as like the same time. If you're in a relationship with these people and you're being 100% with them, like it might rub them the wrong way at first, but if you continue that, like, are you reprogramming them at the same time?
Well, as you said, a good example is my whole life's work. I didn't know it, but it's kind of shown up in the last couple of weeks, even that my whole life's work has been about becoming a person that can share all his thoughts so that I can be known and people know me and I feel connected to people. And that's been my life's work. And I started out 7 years ago when I was about 3 years sober, really doing this process, and I sucked at it. And I rubbed everyone the wrong way. And I shared my thoughts and I rubbed people the wrong way. And I was hated. And people thought I was whatever. And I was mean and I just blunt and I just said things. And over the years, we're cultivating this process, becoming a better human being to the point where you're actually like, before you're approaching somebody with your thoughts, you're actually considering the best proper way. And still to this day, at 11 years sober, it might be a case where I'm very confrontational. And that's the only way I feel like I can get through to somebody. And then it might be a case where I'm not, where I start back at the beginning and say, hey, let's get to know each other. And I build it all the way up from there. But that's the work. The work is you're sitting here. Listen, you're alone. You're not connected. You do drugs. What do you do when you do drugs? Did you not share your thoughts when you did drugs? Did you not talk all night when you did cocaine? Did you not take those opiates and go, I want to talk to people? Did you not go to the bar and have 3 drinks and go, now it's time to get down? You ever been to a wedding? You ever been to a wedding reception? People standing on the wall, not sharing their thoughts, not wanting to be known. Watch when that place gets lubed up by the end of the night. I mean, seriously, people dancing like idiots, looking terrible.
Yeah.
They don't care. And that's a sharing of our thoughts. That's an expression. And we use drugs to do that. And if you stay bottled up and you don't share and you don't let people know you, you will do drugs so that you can share and let people know you and you can feel free again. You'll do it. The problem is you're scared. You're scared about your life, the way you lived it. You're scared to say things to people. You're judgmental. You have judgments. You don't want to be a judgmental prick. But you are. Listen, the more scared we get, the worse we do in life. The more scared we get of people. The more scared we get of people, the more judgmental we get of people. This is natural. The more scared we are, the more judgmental we are. We have to. Because it's the way we survive. We say, I got to stay away from that person. They're going to say shit to piss me off. They're going to annoy me. I got to stay away from that one. That's going to piss me off. And I got to stay away from everyone because I got all these insecurities that people will hit if they just talk. Yeah.
There's people that I know, the first people who are the ones to be scared of people are the ones to judge people, are the first ones to cry when you talk to them.
Yes.
About them. They're
It's
always
it.
the first ones to cry.
Yes.
And it's always the ones that judge the most.
Yes.
And
And we cry because this is a very sensitive thing.
Yeah.
We're coming out of addiction. We're scared of the world. We're scared of people. We're scared to get caught. We're scared to get blamed. We're scared. We're scared to be in trouble.
Yeah.
We've been in trouble a long time. We've been yelled at by our parents. We've been whatever. And we've conditioned to this place where we go, I just don't want to be under the radar. I want to be off the radar. I want to stay off the radar. I just want to slide through life and just not be in trouble again. So what I said today in group, I said, it's like a bunch of kids who broke a lamp when they were 8. They came home and the parents said, and they found out this strategy. The parents came home, the lamp's broken, the football's sitting next to the lamp. The kid's the only kid home. And they go, did you break the lamp? And he goes, no. And the parents accept that. And at the moment the parents accept that, that becomes a strategy for life. You get these people, it's like football players. Dude, you know you're on camera, right? You know you committed the penalty. You know you're on camera on national television claiming you didn't do it, claiming you caught the football when you didn't catch the football. You didn't catch it. You're claiming you caught it. You're on at 7-Eleven robbing the man, saying that's not you, you know, on camera. And we come here and, you know, you leave a dish in the sink and somebody goes, did you, and this happens here. Hey, did anyone leave a dish in the sink? No.
Wasn't me.
Not one person can just go, yeah, I did. What would be wrong if you did? I did. I'll go clean it real quick. No, but we're scared. What's going to happen if you get caught? It's about you using too. Did you use drugs? You're a drug addict. Did you use drugs? No. The labs are, everything's wrong. I didn't use drugs. Well, what's going to happen if we found out you use drugs? We're going to help you with your drug problem.
Yeah.
But I didn't do it. We've had 8-inch fake penises brought into the program so people could fill them with pee and make it look like they, you know, tubes running from arms and, you know, I mean, rather than just going, hey, I fail you. Let's go. Okay.
I don't even know how to follow the fake penis story. That's just weird, man. So,
well, here's what's also weird. All the fake penises are very big. They're very big.
In the wrong place.
Or maybe they're just big to me. Oh, shit. Yeah. Some guys, you guys are all looking at me like, no, they're not, Art. They're normal size. Shit.
oh my goodness. So what I think is interesting here, and I'd like to hear your thoughts on this, is so everybody in the room there in the basement, you all have the language and you speak the language, right? So you go outside of this community and then you start to get honest with people. So like family or friends who may not be speaking this truth, but you want to have that close relationship with. When they're starting to do their racket, how do you kind of stop it? Do you say, hey, you know, have you mentioned that to, you know, this other family member or whoever that you have this problem with them? You should probably talk directly to them. How do you interrupt the bias and redirect it so that you can get honest?
Well, I don't, you know, and I'll let anyone if anyone has an example of when their family's doing this, and Logan, you got an example?
Not a family
Yeah.
thing, but so like this is work. I spend a lot of time at work. So like someone will start, there's a guy at work, he's a mechanic, and he starts saying it like, yeah, so-and-so is an idiot because they do this and that. And then, but like, I'm over there just for a quick question, like, when are you going to be done with this car? And he'll start running. Like,
Yeah.
So-and-so is an idiot, blah, blah, blah. And I'd say, lately I've been saying like, I'd love to sit here and run it about this person with you, you know,
Yeah.
like I could say shit about everyone here, but
Yeah.
you know, I got to run.
Yeah.
Like, I just
Yeah.
wonder when you're going to be done with the car.
Yeah.
And I just kind of like end it
Yeah.
before it even gets started.
To me, for me personally, when I go outside of this program, I don't do this with people. I mean, like, I don't, unless somebody would be willing to learn, I just see it and I can kind of note it and go, that's what's going on. And then I might even join and also run it with them. I'm not, you know what I mean? It's like, I think the thing about this is it's personal. It's really finding the source of your disconnection and finding the source of your own suffering. And, you know, for me, I can go out and play whatever I want in the world. But the truth is if I want to be connected, I have to let people know me with my thoughts. That's one. Second is, if I want to suffer, then the way to suffering is complaining. And I know that. And so I just don't do it personally. I might complain a little and then I'll go right to strategy because I don't want to suffer. And that doesn't mean I have to go out and teach the world to not suffer and say, because sometimes if you guys leave here and then somebody's running it and you just don't let them run it. You just don't, they're complaining, they're doing whatever. Then you begin to complain about complaining.
Yeah.
And that's running it. And then you go complain about them and you go, well, I'm better than them because I don't complain. And that's the same thing.
Yeah.
Now, if you want to take the time to sit down with that person and go, let me explain something to you. Let me explain it all to you. That's why I got a great job, because I get to explain this stuff and people actually pay to have it explained, which is a lot better than just going and doing it for free. And having a person, yeah.
So for me personally, I'm thankful enough that I have a brother who's been through the program, so he can hear some of the vocabulary and stuff. But I use it at home. My dad has never watched a solution or anything, and I'll straight up tell him, like, Dad, you're living in complaint.
Yeah.
Straight up tell him. But see, but for me, like, it opens up a moment where my dad can be like, well, what's that mean?
Right.
What's
right.
That mean? And I can explain to him. But if the question goes also, okay, well, how do I invite other people to understand what I understand? Because it gets to a point when we work this program of watching your thoughts and starting to become present more and starting to get rid of your resentments and get rid of your complaints, where you want your family members around you to absorb, have come under the same way of thinking or not thinking, whatever you call it. The way you want them to change too, the way you have changed. The only way for me to make that happen with my family is they have to see the change in me first. And then at that point, it can either invite them to change along with it, because they can see the growth that's happened and the happiness that comes with it, and my lack of complaining about the world around me, and they don't want to complain about the world around them either. So maybe they'll come to me, hopefully, and ask how I did it. Like, there's no way to go to those people and just be like, hey, I'm going to tell you all the thoughts I have about you, and you're going to sit here and change because of it.
Yeah.
Like, that's just hard.
Yeah.
So what it would be instead, it'd be me going to my mom and being like, Mom, I'm going to sit here and listen to all your thoughts about me.
Yeah.
And I'm going to use that to change my life.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if I'm able to do that, maybe we could swap back.
See, Sherry, I always say the same thing about this program. I say, when people hear me or when people listen to this stuff, the first thing they say is, Art's very interesting. That's always the first. There's an interest level. This stuff's kind of interesting. The second level that I see is that people go, I know a lot of people in my life that need this. And a lot of people just keep it at that level. And they start telling and encouraging other people to learn this information. And then but the third level is, maybe it's possible that I need this. And in that third level becomes an application. And I say the fourth level is, because I apply this program, nobody else needs it. Nobody else needs it. If I'm applying this program correctly, I don't need to teach it. I don't need to share it. I can sit and enjoy my family like cartoon characters almost. I mean, and I don't have to run it and complain about them. I can love them for who they are, because I've worked the program. And I don't need anyone else to change. I don't go to the poker table. I actually go to the poker table and just fit right in. I get down to complaining and I get down to just being with them. But after I leave the poker table, there's responsibility. And there is that doesn't really bother me. I'm not going to hold these thoughts all night. So, I really believe that if we're encouraging other people to do this program, it might be that we're not doing it.
Yeah.
It really could be that we're not doing it. People are showing up like a complaint to us.
And we want them to change.
And we want them to change because we somehow think that's going to make our life better.
Yeah.
And I think that's part of the problem, is coming here and thinking that if other people change, your life's going to get better. It ain't. And so I don't teach this stuff to my sisters. I don't teach it to anyone in my entire family. I go to family functions and never talk about it. And they don't even know what it is that I do. And I enjoy the time with my family.
So like with your sisters then, so if you're talking family and these are people that you seek to have that deep relationship with, do you feel like you can have that honest, deep relationship with them? Or is it just like, you know, like one level removed from that? Or
I don't really generally have an honest, deep relationship with my sisters.
Okay.
It's deep enough that we know that we're brother and sisters. We know we will die for each other.
Mhm.
We know that I knew that they had my back in the worst times of my life. They were there for me. We don't talk behind each other's back.
Yeah.
I don't have a bunch of complaints that I need to share with somebody else about my sisters. I love them. And then that's that. And if we go out to lunch, we just get down with talking about what's going on in our lives. And that's it.
Okay.
And I don't have many thoughts about them that I need to share other than they have my back. I love them and I enjoy them.
But you would call them out on bullshit if they were like, if they
Oh
were,
yeah,
if they
I
were
did.
eating lines of shit, right?
They did. Well, that was the one time that we've had something. When I purchased mom and dad's house, I put all the stuff. I purchased it almost for the sole reason that I didn't want to do that thing where you have to come over here with your sisters and sort everything out. I didn't
Yeah.
want to do that. So I said, I'm going to buy the house and we're going to put everything of mom and dad's out in the shop and we'll get to it when we get to it. And then they kind of ran it on me. Like a year later, they kind of let me know that they were disappointed in me not showing up because I just filled the house with people and I left the stuff in the shop and I didn't show up over here with them to go through the stuff. And they ran it on me. And then my sisters came to me and go, well, you weren't here when we were sorting all the stuff and now you want us to do so. And I said, oh, you guys were talking about behind my back. Don't ever fucking do that to me again. Now, they didn't give me the opportunity. They didn't call me when they were over here and say, Art, you're not here. And we're very disappointed that you're not here. They didn't do that. They just ranted about how they were disappointed and they complained. They didn't even ask me to come over. And if they would have gave me a call back then on the day that they were over here and said, we're really disappointed that you're not here. We'd like you to be here to go through mom and dad's stuff. Arthur, please get here. I would have jumped in my car and got over here. But I didn't get that opportunity. And then my sisters, after I bashed them, they said, we're sorry. That's what we did do. And they said, we know that you do this work and you're a little bit more advanced is what they said. And I said, okay, well, that's how Candy put it. She said, you're just a little bit more advanced. We did some bullshit there. And she kind of she saw it, and, and I said, yeah, don't do that bullshit on me. I said, I'll be there for you anytime you ask me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
I was really hoping tonight that I would hear from the people that come on the moms group and I would hear what they had to say because, I really challenge anyone, and that's again, I challenge and I want somebody to tell me because I'm looking for this to be wrong. I'm looking for a reason why I don't have to share all my thoughts. Tell me what a good reason is and tell me because it's hard work. Because I'd love a reason to stop doing the work. And I would love for somebody that tells me I could keep things to myself. And I love it if they told me that I could have thoughts about people and just not share them, because then I wouldn't have to be a better human being. I wouldn't have to do the work of being able to share them nicely and keeping people in my life. Now that's the trick. You're going to share your thoughts. You also want them to keep coming over for dinner. Yeah. You don't want them to leave and go, that guy's an asshole. So again, that's the work. And so, it's real easy for people to come up with excuses and reasons why they don't have to share their thoughts, but that's what they are, in my opinion. They're excuses and reasons because you don't got no balls and you're scared. You don't want to confront. You're worried and you're worried about your life and you're worried about the way you live. And you're worried about, if I approach this person, there's going to be bloodshed and I don't want to do that. And you're also concerned that you're so believing in your thoughts that you think they're going to hurt the person because they're true. And so now you don't want to say them because you think your thoughts are so accurate.
What if it's like you're like grandma or grandpa and they're like 92 and what you say like really could potentially like make your relationship with them like super bad?
Well, let's have another one. Let's have another caveat to this thing. Let's also say that if there is thoughts about a person, and you can definitely there's a complaint about a person or a thought about a person in your family, like your grandparents. Now, let me make sure that the rest of the family isn't getting together and talking shit about the grandparents and about all the things they think that the way they live is wrong and the things they do is wrong. And if that's going on and no one shared their thoughts with the grandparents, I would say that's not good. But if there's like, haha, that's grandpa and grandma, and we accept, and we don't get together and run it on them, we just accept that that's grandma and grandpa and they're not going to change, and we don't have to go run it bullshit on them and complain about them, then that's probably one of the like qualifiers of not having to, you know.
I know I love my grandma. I'm not talking about Logan's grandma.
But I'm saying, and I'm also
Draw the line, then, as
okay.
Or Derek's grandma.
So the question is, where do we draw the line?
I know that the people here, like people that we surround ourselves with, obviously we want to build that connection with the people in our house, the people of our family members, maybe work, but where's that line drawn? As far, is it just basically the people that you want to have a deeper connection with?
Okay, let's say Cam asks, where do we draw the line? And I'll just say it like this. Do you want to be known? Do you want to be known? And then there is no line. It's a measurement. My relationship with this person is based upon my ability to share my thoughts with them. The more thoughts I share, the better relationships I have. So for me personally, there's no line. It's just a measurement. With this person, I don't share this many thoughts. With this person, I don't share. And then there's a very easy way to look at it. Well, I don't have it. And let's call it what it is. I don't have a good relationship with this person because I can't share my thoughts with this person. And I do have a relationship with this person that's good because I share all my thoughts with this person. So let's call it what it is. And then let's say there is no line. It's up to you. It's up to you to decide how many good relationships you want and how many fake ones you want. How many superficial ones you want. For me, I don't want very many superficial relationships. I don't want to show up at the family thing and smile and say I'm happy with everybody when I'm not. If you do, you're going to get high. I mean, that'll probably equal that. Or you'll have to go there and get drunk so you can put up with them. So I just, I'm just putting a measurement out there. Your ability to share your thoughts is the measurement of the relationship. You want 9 good ones? Share your thoughts and let all 9 people know you. In this room, I will tell you, I'm the most known. And that's not because I'm famous. I'm the most known in this room because I share my thoughts the most. Everyone here in this room knows goddamn where I stand. There is no secrets in this head. There's nothing in here about any of you or anything that you don't know. I want to be known. I want to be connected. Therefore, it would be no problem for me to get in a car with any one of you and go on a trip. We would kick it. There would be no hidden resentments. There would be no thoughts I haven't shared. There would be nothing. It'd be like, dude, let's go. That's good, I think. So I do the work. I share my thoughts. Now, you can tell me how many times we sit in this room and you don't share your thoughts with somebody that's behaving very poorly, somebody that's doing something wrong, and you don't share your thoughts. And then you go, and because I sit in here always feeling like the bad guy. Society is telling me because I share my thoughts, I'm the bad guy. And the good person is the one that goes and doesn't say anything. I just disagree with that. And I disagree with why people don't share. They say they share because they're nice. I say they share because they don't share because they're scared. You want to share. You want to share your thoughts. Boy, you want to say it. You should see when I do a group and share my thoughts on someone. How happy everyone in the house is.
Yes. Yeah.
God damn, thank God Art said it.
Those are the best groups.
Yeah.
Last night before you went off on mic, I was just about to.
Yeah.
I was like, that's fucking bullshit.
Angela, you got a question?
Well, I just wanted to say I fully agree with what you're saying. I've realized that a lot in the past several months, and I owe it to you and everybody, the whole crew at Battlefield. I have one little question, though. When you talk about wishing other people would do what we are doing. And that means we're really not working the program ourselves. I slightly disagree with that because I feel like I have made such an me and my son are closer now than we've ever been. And I owe that to your instruction. You know, he's somewhat clean except for marijuana. He had ACL surgery about a month ago. We brought him back from Morgantown after him leaving over a year ago on your request that if he doesn't want to come to you, he needs to go somewhere. And he did. And he worked and he tore his ACL and he relapsed a couple times. And I just kept fighting for him and talking to him the way that he needed to be talking to instead of anger and judgment and all the things you teach us not to do. And
so what is your question, Angela?
I feel like I'm not getting the same from his father or his brother, and it would be so much more beneficial.
All right. I got it. Okay. So have you done the work of sharing your thoughts with your husband?
Yes.
Well, it didn't work.
He's not my husband, but
it was your significant other.
Right.
Well, here's what I can say. It didn't work.
I know.
Okay. So guess what?
What?
You got to make it work.
I've tried.
Okay. Well, I mean, this is the problem here. I wish I had another way for you.
I know.
But here's the complaint. The complaint is my husband does not do this work and is not treating my son the way I want him to be treated. That's the complaint. Okay. Or
myself, because when I try to talk to him, he turns it into an argument and I just.
Okay. So every time I talk to my husband, it turns into an argument. That's the complaint. Now, guys, in this room, there's a power dial. Now, as we say something like a complaint, every time I talk to my husband, it turns into an argument. Now, all you do is switch the dial and you see what you have to do. So she's got a predicament or an issue, and she just says it like an issue. Every time I speak to my husband, I am now engaged in an argument. Or you could say it differently. Every time you talk to your husband, you cause an argument. Stop causing an argument with your husband, but talk to him. See, as soon as we turn that complaint into what we got to do, what she has to do in her life, and there's no way around it. There is no way around it. Your life stops at the complaint, and there's no way around it until she says, I must speak to my husband without causing an argument. I have to figure out the type of human being that can do that and be that type of human being.
Results.
I have to get the results. But when we leave it at complaint, my husband turns everything into an argument. Notice there's nothing for her to do. Notice she's out of options at that point. Notice that she's no longer responsible. It's his fault. Now, working this program, what I'm teaching here to you guys says, you can't let yourself off the hook. So she has to sit there now and become a person that has a strategy to speak to her husband without causing an argument. Or she needs to kick him out. These are her options. He's got to go, or you need to find a way. Our other alternative is not there. If you can find another alternative, let me know. But again, this is the crux of the work here. If you guys don't see this one, this is brilliant.
I see it.
It's just over at that point, you know. Yeah. I'm sorry that you have to now be bigger and more responsible and figure out a way to speak to your husband without causing an argument. I'm sorry you have to do that, but you just do. And it's brilliant because there's an actual pathway there. And as you begin the work of being able to speak to your husband without causing an argument, you will become a better human being. There's no way around it. People have a hard time wanting to become a better human being. That's tough.
Some could possibly turn or make him become a better human being as well.
Right. And in any way she wants to hold him accountable, she's got to make sure she does it herself. She's got all this shit she's got to do first.
Is it possible that the argument as the result is like, and I don't know her very well, so I'm not saying it in her instance, but like, is that possible that like the confirmation bias that we're talking about, like
Oh yeah.
not doing the work because like you deep down you want the argument to
Yeah.
confirm that see he's an
Yep,
asshole?
that's right. Now, once we get it fixed, the thought comes in our head that every time we get into a conversation, it turns into an argument. What Logan is saying that every time we get in a conversation, it will turn into an argument. Until we switch it and get out of that thought and say, maybe even it could be as simple for her as to go, why? She would have to take the facts about herself, though. If she approached her husband and she said, hey, why do I cause an argument every time? What is it in me that's doing that? And she would have to listen to him tell her, and then she would have to take that information as true, and then she'd have to improve upon it. Yeah.
Okay, so when Art said, maybe if you're trying to get others to work this program, you're not working the program. What he means is what happens is that the reason why we want other people to change is because they are some form of complaint in our life.
Mm-hmm.
The way they're behaving makes us uncomfortable. We don't like it. For our own benefit, we want it to change. Now, when we're trying to invite somebody else to change, if we are trying to invite them in the form of a complaint, it will not work.
Yeah.
You got to somehow be at the point, right? Because I do enjoy, so I'll say this. Okay, so I enjoy my life being good. And I enjoy, I would love to see my brother or anyone else who I care about to have a good, successful life. Now, it's not because when they don't, it puts me down and it's harder for me to live. It's just I want him to have a successful life. So coming to him rather, let's say, so your husband or your significant other not changing is a complaint. It's an issue for you. You don't like the way he behaves. You don't like the way he is, and it's a problem. It makes it hard for you to live. It is a complaint compared to just wanting an actual successful change in someone. It's on the approach. So if the result is you want him to have a better life. The reason why you want him to work this program is because through the program we find that we have less resentments, that we're much more open to the people around us, and we're much more forgiving to the people around us, and being in acceptance and being without being upset so much. You want him to experience that. If that's the result that you want him to have, the way you bring it to him is going to be different compared to it being a complaint.
Mm-hmm.
That you need him to change because it will make your life better.
It will be an accusation.
An accusation.
Okay, thank you, Angela.
Thank
I know
you
we're getting
very
on
much.
time.
Both.
We got anybody else?
Nobody else is in
No, there was a
line.
lot of questions coming around last week, and
Sure.
you
There
know,
was a great conversation. People were talking all week. I know I was very conscious all week of the topic. So if anybody else has anything, please share. And if not, we'll wind down. We've got 5 minutes left, and you could do your closing thoughts if there's nobody that pipes up. But if there's anybody out there with something to say, please.
It feels like as this goes on, when I initiate a topic like I did like this 3 weeks ago, there was a lot of resistance. And as we've whittled it down, there's less and less resistance to this
Yeah,
idea.
that's true.
And now it's seeming to come to like, in the way I approached it or in the way because I came off very accusatory or I came off very like aggressive, but that's just the way it works. And what I do say is that one of the things about Solution Group that I hope is a result, whether what I say is true or not, what I hope as a result is that people begin to think, and they begin to think differently than they thought before. And I think that, that's part of it. I think Stacy has a quick question.
Yep,
Stacy,
yep.
we got a few minutes.
We'll have one more. Yep. Let's get you unmuted, Stacy.
There.
Okay, go ahead. Hi.
Hi. So it's not so much a question as I don't know. I think since last week, I took your suggestions of saying your thoughts, and I said to my daughter, you know, Sarah, every time we talk about recovery and, you know, getting into a rehab, you always say you want to, but you don't. And you've been saying you've been wanting to go to rehab since December. You haven't gotten there from here. And there's been times when I've said, you know, fill out your paperwork. Oh, well, Mom. And so she brought up all these reasons why she hasn't gone. And I said, well, let's take one of them and solve that problem and see if you get any closer. Now, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. I mean, listen, the thing is not, you know, here's the truth. And the reality is that when you share your thoughts, no matter what, with a person, no matter how you do it, things will get better. It just will, no matter how you do it. You might not learn to do it perfectly at first, but it'll get off your chest. It'll get out, it'll feel better. And, you know, yeah. And I think that's the important part to remember is that the jail of being alone with our thoughts or having thoughts about somebody that we share with not that person, but somebody else, it's important to remember that that's a prison. It's important to remember that that's the prison that we're all trying to get out of. And so when we do feel that relief of jumping off that cliff and sharing our thoughts about a person with a person, that it really does something. Yeah. And it really makes us feel better. And there's tons of opportunity there of growth. And I had a thought when you came on, Stacy, just so you know, this was the thought that I had in my head right when you came on. And I got to tell you what it was. It was, wow, Stacy looks really pretty tonight. And I'm telling you, that's just the truth. That's just the thought I had. So I have to tell you that.
Thanks.
You do. Thank you. All right.
She does. Thanks, Stacy. Yeah. You do look beautiful.
All right. See ya.
Yeah. That's what came up. She looks very pretty and happy tonight.
I'm trying to get a fire lit in my fireplace.
Oh, man, that's nice. That's nice. Yeah.
Presto log.
If this was a singles dating site, they'd be shooting right over right now.
But there you go. There you go.
Yeah.
Well, we could have a battlefield singles night. My dad.
Yes.
My dad's gonna need that in the new year, so I'm gonna have to introduce him to some of the single ladies out there. Okay, let's wrap it up.
So we're gonna put this to bed and move on to, I think next week we might have Kyle Munkers in the chair. I'm debating whether to take a week off. So we might put Kyle back in the chair next week and get out of town. So I want to put this topic kind of to bed. And the way I want to do is I want to just say that, we're having this thing in the world right now that the truth is very elusive. And, I think that whether it's the internet, whether it's politics, whether it's TV, whether it's with each other. And I don't think that we're ever going to find it anymore. But I think that we can be truthful. And I think the way that we can be truthful is that we can share our thoughts with a new definition of humility, sharing our thoughts with people. And I'm not, believe me, when I say this, I'm working on it. When I say this, I am still a very accusatory prick with my thoughts, and I believe all of them. And if I have a judgment about you, I can be abrasive and I can be an asshole. And I imagine when I'm 70, I'm going to be a lot better, and I'm going to keep working on it until I'm 70 or 80. And I'm going to keep working this thing until I can share my thoughts in a kind manner. But I think being truthful means that I'm going to share my thoughts with humility. And humility means, to me, the opposite of righteousness. Righteousness means all my thoughts and the way I think is absolutely 100% right. And I may or may not tell you sometimes, but if I do tell you that I'm right and you're wrong. And humility would mean I'm going to share my thoughts with you with the hope that they're wrong. that I really am hopeful that I'm wrong about you, because I want the relationship to continue. And the thoughts I'm having about you are very negative, and I want positive thoughts about you. So I'm going to give you the opportunity to prove those thoughts to be true or to be false. So here I go. I'm going to share my thoughts with you about humility. Hey, I'm not going to claim that you're a disrespectful prick. I'm going to say, hey, what you did the other day, is that because you don't respect me? You know, and that's a big different way of saying things. Hey, last night you didn't touch me, or you didn't want to lay with me. Is that because what is that? Is that because you don't, what is that reason? You know, and you give the person the opportunity to tell you, rather than listening to your thoughts as your assumptions and just sticking with your assumptions to be true and your theories to be true. And then just imagine how harmful we've been to our relationships with our assumptions, and how our assumptions lead us, our thoughts lead us to assumptions, those assumptions lead it to be true, and those truths that we believe to be true, and not trying to disprove those truths dictate the way we treat each other. And just think how many relationships we do that with, and we don't give the person the opportunity. So I want to just say that I hope that's what humility is the chance that me and this guy are in here, and that guy's not me, and he can talk to me in here, and that's not me. I'm just the recipient. And then I can share those thoughts with you as if this guy in here might be wrong. And then that would be humility. I've had thoughts about a lot of you that I've assumed. And if you've known me, you know that I've done the work of asking you. So hopefully to disprove those things. So again, we'll be back next week. And if you have any more questions, if you have anything you can say about this, but really I was hoping tonight that somebody would come up with a good reason why I don't have to share my thoughts, and why 100% of our thoughts don't need to be shared. And I'm not saying share 100% of your thoughts with the whole world, but find someone that you can share 100% of your thoughts. Because if you do that, you're free. Because if all goes to hell, that person's going to still love you, and you know it. And that's the way to get there. So find that person then. It doesn't have to be everyone, but you better share everything with someone, or you're not going to be connected on this planet. Anyways, we'll see you. We may or may not see you next week. Thank you again to all the monthly partners and everybody that's joining. And, thank you for putting up with me. Later.
Thank you. Have a good week, everybody. We'll see you next week, and we'll see you moms tomorrow on Moms Group.
There's one.
Good night. Good night.